Good morning, everyone. Good morning, secondary two students. Today, inshallah, we will discuss together Act 2 of Pygmalion, and we will revise it from from the act itself. You have to watch the video several times to know about the quotations that will be discussed in the act and so on. طب let's revise before هنا first what we have covered during Act 1. At the end of Act 1, we found that Higgins was talking with Pickering about his job, and he said that he could take Eliza to train her, and she can be a lady, and she can attend the embassy ball. Uh, Eliza heard that, and Eliza decided to go to Higgins to learn and to know about how to speak like a lady to work in a flower shop. At the beginning of Act 2, we found that Higgins has invited Pickering to his house, and he started to show him the tools and the equipment that he has. And then, while doing that, Miss Peirce, Miss Peirce is a new character, which is the housekeeper of Higgins' house. She comes and to Higgins and announces the arrival of the flower girl, or announces the arrival of a common girl. Okay, let's start together first of all. At the very beginning, when you read the first two pages and read the tools that Higgins uses, like the phonograph, like here the tuning forks, like the vocal organs, like the cylinders, like the phonograph, you can know that Higgins is an up-to-date scientist. He uses tools and equipment that was very new and very up-to-date during this period of time. He started to show Pickering all of these tools, and they started to discuss together uh, their jobs, the phonetics uh, that they know. And then we found in the second page an important dialogue that is between them. We found that Higgins here that he's an expert. Why? We find Pickering says to him, after hearing about his ability to know a large number of vowels and how to pronounce them, Pickering says, yes, it's a fearful strain. I rather fancied myself because I can pronounce, Pickering بيقول, he can pronounce 24 distinct vowel sounds. But you can say your 130 beat me. You can pronounce 130. I can't hear a bit difference between most of them. Although both of them are professors of phonetics, but Higgins' ability and Higgins' uh, way to know the difference between all of these numbers of vowels, 130, it beats any other scientist of phonetics. Higgins replies, oh, that comes with practice. You hear no difference at first, but you keep on listening, and presently you find they are all as different as A from B. يعني he can notice the difference between all the vowels, يعني between مثلا say 40 letters of O. He can find the difference between those 40 sounds of O. He can say that they are like A and B to him. So, of course, this reflects that Higgins is an expert. Miss Peirce comes now and announces the arrival of a young woman wants to see you, sir. Higgins says, a young woman? What does she want? Miss Peirce, well, she says you will be glad to see her. Here طبعا Eliza comes to Higgins, but Eliza tries to make it for him as a surprise. She doesn't want him to know that the girl outside is Eliza. And Eliza expected that Higgins will be glad to see her. Will be glad to see her in her new uniform, in her new clothes, in her new look. Uh, she says you will be glad to see her when you know what she has come about. She's quite a common girl. Yes, very common indeed. I should have sent her away. Only I brought. Perhaps you wanted her to talk into your machines. This means that Higgins uses people like things to do experiment on. I hope I have not done wrong, but really you see such queer people sometimes. You will excuse me, I'm sure, sir. Hereby we find that Higgins takes advantage of lower class people. Why? He says, okay, that's all right. Oh, that's all right, Miss Peirce. Has she an interesting accent? Miss Peirce replies, interesting? Something dreadful. Basha, really, I don't know how you can take an interest in it. Higgins replies, okay, let's have her up. Show her up, Miss Peirce. جيبوها لي بقى هنا. وهيجنز بيقول لي دلوقتي بيكرينج بقى. We are lucky. Why you are lucky? Because now I can show you our tools, my tools and my equipment live. We can do the experiment on a real girl which is from the lower class. This is rather a bit of luck. I will show you how I make records. Then Eliza arrives, and we find that Eliza enters wearing uh, feathers in her hair inside the hat, and she has a nearly clean apron. Yani she wears the best clothes that she has, and a shoddy coat that she has been tied a little, that she has tied a little. And she tries to be in a very good look. And she expected in Higgins will be happy and will not notice her when he sees her during that time. But when we see the arrival of the girl and see Higgins' reaction, we find that Higgins says, why? Why this is the girl I jotted down last night? She's no use. I have got all the records I want of the lesson grove lingo. I'm not going to waste another cylinder of it. Be off with you. I don't want you. He treated her like she's a rubbish, like she's something useless. He treats Eliza that she's rubbish for him. The flower girl, طبعا, when she heard him like that, she says, don't be you, be so Susie. Don't be rude. You aren't hear what I come for yet. Miss Peirce, did you tell him, yeah, Miss Peirce, I come in a taxi? Miss Peirce, nonsense girl. What do you think a gentleman like Mr. Higgins cares about what you came in? Now the flower girl uh, tries to explain Hannah why she has come, and she says, oh, we are proud. We aren't above giving lessons, not him. I heard him say in the street that he can give me lessons to help me be a lady in the flower shop. And I'm coming with an offer. If my offer is not enough, if my offer doesn't satisfy you, then I can leave. Higgins, good enough for what? Good enough for you. Now, don't you? I'm come to have lessons and I will pay money for them. Make no mistake. Higgins, we find now that he is rude. We will find also that Eliza has dignity and is touchy. She cannot bear to hear any rude way of Higgins. What do you expect me to say here? Well, if you was a gentleman, you might ask me to sit down. I think. Don't I tell you I'm bringing you business? Hmm. Pickering, إيه رأيك? Shall we ask this baggage to sit down or shall we throw her out of the window? Look how he treats the girl Hannah in a very rude way. The flower girl here we find that she has a word or expression that is common for the lower class people during this time, or for هنا this expression is used for objection. So we find that she says, oh, I won't be called a baggage when I have offered to pay like any lady. baggage دي تقولها لا مؤاخذة يعني لحد تاني. What is it you want my girl? Pickering لأن هو not like Higgins. يعني he knows how to treat girls. تعالي كده ايه Eliza, what has happened? I want to be a lady in a flower shop instead of selling at the corner of Tottenham Court Road. But they want to take me unless I can talk more genteel. He said he could teach me. Well, here I'm ready to pay him, not asking any favor. And you look, he treats me as if I was a dirt. Miss Percy بنلاقي ان هي at the beginning يعني she tries to discipline Eliza, or she tries to stop Eliza, but we will notice later that this treatment will change a lot. Miss Peirce, how can you be such a foolish, ignorant girl as to think you could afford to pay Mr. Higgins? Why shouldn't I? I know what lessons cost as well as you do, and I'm ready to pay. I will pay for the lessons. Higgins asked her to sit down, and then we find that Eliza explains more that she has asked about the price of the lessons before coming. She says, I know what's right. A lady friend of mine gets French lessons for 18 pence an hour from a real French gentleman. You wouldn't have the face to ask me the same, of course, and I'm learning English, and you'll teach me English as you would for French. I won't give you more than a shilling. Take it or leave it, as you like. Higgins, Pickering, if this girl is going to pay a shilling, do you know that this amount of money is so huge when you compare it with her income? Because here he explains this money is هنا is equivalent to 60 or 70 guineas from a millionaire, and the millionaire cannot pay all of that amount of money, or all of that money. Higgins says she offers me two-fifths of her day's income, two-fifths of a millionaire's income for a day would be somewhere about 60 pounds. It's handsome by George. It's enormous. It's the biggest offer I have ever had. لزقت له 60 pounds. 60 pounds ايه يا عم؟ انا I said I will pay a shilling. طبعا هو he doesn't say 60 pounds، هو بيقول لها ان هي يعني do you know that this amount is like a millionaire that pays 60 pounds، بس هي مش فاهمه حاجه. فهي زي hold your tongue. But I ain't got 60 pounds. Don't cry, you silly. Sit down. Sit down. Nobody's going to touch your money, Miss Purse. تريزي اسكتي. Somebody is going to touch you with a broomstick if you don't stop sniveling. لا هنديكي بالستيك. طبعا ستيك وعملت مديها لهم ايه تاني؟ The same expression. When Elena she started she started to cry. Higgins, to wipe your teeth, your eyes, to wipe your eyes, to wipe any part of your face that feels moist. Remember that your handkerchief and that's your sleeve. Don't wipe like that. Don't mistake the one for the other if you wish to become a lady in a shop. Uh, then we find that Pickering offers to pay for all the experiment to teach Eliza to be the lady. Pickering says, Higgins, I'm interested. What about the ambassador's garden party? I'll say you are the greatest teacher alive if you make that good. I'll bet you all the expenses of the experiment, all what the experiment costs. You can't do it, I think, and I will pay for the lessons. فإلى قالت له, oh, thank you. You are very good, Captain. Higgins, it's almost irresistible. She's so deliciously low, so horribly dirty. أنا dirty. Dirty. أو عملت مدياله. I ain't dirty. I washed my face and hands هنا before I come. I did. انا ديرتي منين يا عم؟ مين اللي ديرتي ده يا ابن وايه؟ ولقيناها عماله برضو انا مش ديرتي، انا غاسله ايدي وغاسله وشي. Higgins, what is life? But a series of inspired follies. The difficulty is to find them. Never lose a chance. I'm very challengeable person. It doesn't come every day. I shall make a duchess of this draggle the gutter snipe. I would change her into a lady. Yes, in 6 months. If she has good ear and quick tongue, I will take her anywhere and pass her off as anything. We will start today. Today, now, this moment. Take her away and clean her, Miss Purse, monkey brain. If it won't come off any other way, is there a good fire in the kitchen? Fire Liam to take all her clothes and fire them. We will bring her new clothes. We want to change Eliza. We want Eliza to be a lady. هنا I will do the challenge. Miss Purse, طب اهدى يا عم كده شوية. You must be reasonable. ما ينفعش كده نبقى على طول الموضوع جاي معانا. Mr. Higgins, really you must, you can't talk over everybody like this. هنا احنا we don't know the girl. We can't take any girl and do that with her. Miss Purse, the matter that you can take a girl up like that is if you are picking up a pebble on the beach. مش ماشيين على البيتش عجبتني pebble. We can collect the pebble. Why not? Why not? But you don't know anything about the girl, about her parents. مش ممكن تبقى maybe married. Maybe her parents were object to that experiment. We find لقينا هنا ان Eliza said الأول أنا I didn't want that. I didn't want any clothes. I didn't want all of that. I want to work as a lady in a flower shop. That's only what I want. I didn't want no clothes. I wouldn't have take them. I can buy my own clothes when I work. This reflects that Eliza is an independent girl. She doesn't want to accept anything from anyone without working for it. Higgins, Allah, you are an ungrateful, wicked girl. This is my return for offering to take you out of the gutter and dress you beautifully and make a lady of you. Stop, stop, Mr. Higgins. I won't allow you. بالراحة على البت. It's you that you are weak. Go home to your parents, girl, and tell them to take better care of you. I ain't got any parents. I got no parents. They told me I was big enough to earn my own living and turned me out. Higgins, oh my God, then what on earth is all this fuss about? The girl doesn't belong to anybody. The tati, she is no use to anybody but me. You can adopt her, Miss Purse. I'm sure a daughter would be a great amusement to you. Well, he treats Eliza like she is something that he has found with no henna that belongs to no one. But what's to become of her? Higgins or Mr. Higgins. Is she to be paid to do that job? Do be sensible, sir. فبيكرينج قال له برضه بالراحة على البنت شوية. Does it occur to you, Higgins, إن الجيرل دي has got some feelings? دي عندها feelings؟ feelings إيه يا عم؟ I don't think so. Not any feelings that we need to bother about. Have you, Eliza? عندك يا بنت feelings يا بنت؟ Oh, I got my feelings. Same as anyone else. هنا Eliza, I don't want to talk grammar. أنا عايزة يا عم أبقى ليدي في فلاور شوب. ما تفكك من كل الكلام ده كله. Miss Peirce, will you please keep to the point? Mr. Higgins, I want to know on what terms the girl is to be here. Is the girl to have any wages? And what is to become of her when you have finished your teaching? You must look ahead a little. Let's look ahead a little. Higgins, what's to become of her if I leave her in the gutter? Tell me that. What will happen to her, Yan? That's her own business, not yours, Mr. Higgins. Well, I have done with her. هاني هنخلص and we can threw her back in the gutter, in the streets, and then it will be her own business again. So that's all right. لازم طبعا هنا she tried to bear the treatment and to reply, but she's a girl. والجيرل من اللي هي ان هي بتيجي عند certain point كده she explodes. مرة واحدة لقينا إلايزا explodes. Oh, you have no feelings, heart in you. You don't care for nothing but yourself. When she rises, here, I have had enough of this. I'm going. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. You ought. قام جري ورايا هيجنز، وقام جاي كده هو جايب لها شوكليت عشان ايه؟ to يعني مش to apologize، يعني to make her or to persuade her to stay and convince her not to leave. Have some chocolates, Eliza. Oh, I do. I know what might be on them. معرفش ايه اللي في الشوكليت. I have heard of girls being drugged by the lack of you. معرفش. Some girls can take هنا chocolate and maybe there is a drug يغمن عليا، وما اعرفش ايه اللي ممكن يحصل. لا يا عم. I will not eat the chocolate. قام لقينا عم ايه؟ He throws the chocolate inside her mouth while she is crying up. Um, I don't want the chocolate but I cannot take it out of my mouth. ولقينا ان هي ايه؟ She started to eat the chocolate. Uh, وهنا we find that Higgins will explain to her now what will happen to her to satisfy Miss Peirce, to satisfy Pickering, to make her know the whole thing or the whole experiment. بصي يا Eliza, that's all you get out of Eliza. As a military man, you ought to know that give her her orders. That's what she wants. Eliza, you are to live here for the next 6 months, learning how to speak beautifully, like a lady in the florist shop. If you are good and do whatever you are told, you shall sleep in a proper bed and proper room and have lots to eat and money to buy chocolates and take rides in taxis. If you are naughty and idle, you will sleep back in the kitchen among the black beetles and be walloped by Miss Peirce with a broomstick. At the end of 6 months, you shall go to Buckingham Palace in a carriage, beautifully dressed. If the king finds out you are not a lady, you will be taken by the police to the Tower of London, where your head will be cut off as a warning. لأي other flower girl can think of doing something like that. If you are not found out, you shall have a present of 7 and 6 pence to start life with as a lady in a shop. If you refuse this offer, Yabet, you will be the most ungrateful and wicked girl, and the angels will weep for you. Now, Mardiam Pickering, Mardiam Spurs, now are you satisfied, Pickering? Can I put it more plainly and fairly, Miss Spurs? Do you want more clarification? I think that's enough. إيلايزا طبعا بعد ما سمعت ده كله وسمعت ان she will be walloped, فشي said, you're a great Bali. You want to be here. If I don't like, won't let anybody wallop me. Never ask it to go to Buckingham Palace. I didn't was ever in trouble with the police. Not me. I'm a good girl. Yeah, I don't want all of that. I want to be a lady and work in the flower shop. That's only. Mom, they took Eliza to have a shower and they started, Eliza started to cry and shout. She doesn't want Hannah to take a shower. She doesn't want to start the experiment. She doesn't want her mind to be her clothes to be burned. وليلى بقى Pickering دلوقتي is alone talking with Higgins. He told him, excuse the straight question. ولك يا Higgins, are you a man of good character where women are concerned? Do you know how to treat women؟ تعرف تعامل الستات اصلا؟ انت يعني شايفك يعني جلنف قوي بصراحه، لا مؤاخذه في الكلمه. هيجنز: have you ever met a man؟ عمرك شفت راجل كده of good character where women are concerned؟ شفت راجل كده هنا بجود character وان his life is او he is involved in life with women. Higgins says I haven't. I find that the moment I let a woman make friends with me and she becomes jealous and suspicious and things like that, I find that the moment I let myself make friends with women, I become selfish. Women من الآخر upset everything. When you let them in your life, you find that the woman is driving at one thing and you are driving at another. حكيم يا عم هيجنز، والله معاك حق. حاسس كده فعلا ان الwoman spoil everything in your life. اه طب قول لي example كده يا عم، فهمني شويه. اقول لك يا عم. Oh, Lord knows. I suppose the woman wants to live her own life والman wants to live his. Each tries to drag the other هنا to the wrong track. One wants to go north, one wants to go south. ده يروح عايز يروح هنا في حتة، وده عايز يروح في حتة تانية. طب في النهاية ده يشد هنا، ده يشد هنا. And the result إن both have to go east. تلاقي الاتنين واحد عايز يروح هنا قلنا ايه north فوق، واحد عايز يروح south. طب مش عارفين، فرايحين هما الاتنين east او رايحين هما الاتنين west عشان to satisfy the other spouse. طبعا ده في النهاية no one feels satisfied. عشان كده يا عم أنا راجل confirmed old bachelor and likely to remain so. I don't want to have any woman in my life. شوية كده when Spurs comes to Higgins which starts to try to make Higgins uh, do the job well. She wants Eliza to succeed. يعني Eliza will take money after the experiment. قالت له بص بقى، we shall have to be very particular with the girls as to personal cleanliness. وانت كمان the first one لازم you should look after your behavior. You should take care of it. Certainly, quite right. Most important. I mean not to be slovenly about her dress, not to be not caring or untidy in leaving things about. يعني عايزه ايه يا عم سبيرس؟ يعني ما تفكيني يعني. يعني هنا you might not come down to breakfast in your dressing gown, or at any rate not to use a napkin هنا to the extent you do. هو بيستخدم النابكن هنا الدريسنج جاون بتاعه ان هو النابكن بتاعه وكان use it and wears it over the suit مثلا for example. قلت لا، لازم نخلي بالنا من البيهيفير بتاعنا. شويه كده ولقينا ايه، مس بيرس قالت له برضو انها دلوقتي مش لاقي لها كلوز لان هي she went to take a shower and they have burned their clothes and they are going to bring new clothes بس لسه الكلوز ما جاتش. فشي excused him asked هنا took an excuse to take كان عنده جابانيز كيمونو دريس كده، لبس بتاعه هو كان جايبه من جابان. قالت له احنا we will give this kimono to the girl. فهيجنز accepted certainly. وشويه كده هنا ايه، مس بيرس جت تقول له الحقنا، الحقنا يا عم. الاخير يا مس بيرس قالت له if you please sir، شكل كده الدنيا بدات توقع. The troubles is beginning already. راجل واقف لي بره dust man downstairs Alfred Doolittle wants to see you. He says that he wants to see his daughter here. فلقينا هاجنز جاي. Hmm, if there is any trouble he shall have it. دخل بقى طبعا عليه بيكرينج سوري دوليتل، بس قال لما يجي قال لها طيب خلاص هاتي، احنا في الاول ما عملناش اكسبيرمنت على الجيرل، ممكن نعملها على المين. بص اي حد شغال معاه الاكسبيرمنت وخلاص. if there is any trouble he shall have it with me not I with him and we are sure to get something interesting out of him. حتى بيكرينج ما فهموش، قال له interesting ايه على البنت؟ قال له على البنت ايه يا عم، على الدايلكت، على هيز فوناتكس. قال له طب يلا قشطه تعال. المهم دخلوا ايه الراجل. جود مورنينج سيت داون. قال له مورنينج جفرنر. brought up هنا. وقال له بقى انت where are you from، والمادر بتاعتك ويلش. عرف يجيب قراره برضه عن طريق الايه، الفوناتكس. خير what do you want do little، قال I want my daughter. That's what I want to see. Hmm. Of course you do. You are her father, aren't you? You don't suppose anyone else wants her. I'm glad to see you have some spark of family feeling. كويس قوي يا عم ان انت عندك you have a grain of sensitivity. بتحس كده. She's upstairs. Take her away at once. عايز تاخدها خدها. بص هنا هيجنز وايز ازاي. هيجنز realized ان this man is blackmailing him. فذاتس واي قال له عايز تاخد الجيرل خد الجيرل. قال له طيب هنا المهم هيجنز take her away. Do you suppose I'm going to keep your daughter for you؟ خدها يا عم لو عايز تاخدها. فالدوليتل عمال طبعا كده ايه شاكد، يا نهار ابيض ده هيدوني البيت. هيجنز اولا بس هفهمك حاجه. Your daughter had the audacity to come to my house and ask me to teach her how to speak properly so that she could get a place in a flower shop. Here she asked to learn هنا to work in a flower shop. ودي gentleman and my housekeeper كانوا شاهدين على الموضوع ده كله. Have been here all the time. How dare you come here and attempted to blackmail me? You sent her here on purpose. انتوا عاملين مع بعض بلوت، عاملين مع بعض بلان. انتوا جايين تنصبوا عليا علم يا اولاد وعم ايه. No governor Higgins, you must have. How else could you possibly know that she is here? You don't take a man up like that, governor. governor ده يعني ايه؟ زي عم المحافظ، عم اللواء، عم البيه، عمنا، يعني يا اسطى الحاجات دي كلها. The police shall take you up. This is a plan. دي خطة. A plot to extort money by threats. انا هتصل بالبوليس، انا هاخد البوليس. I shall phone the police. هنا دولت قالوا يا عم صلى على النبي، استهدى بالله كده ايه، اشتري مني. طب اقول لك ايه، المهم they talk together. بدأ ان هو he became clearer هنا. فبيكرينج قال له طيب انت كمان why did you bring her luggage if you intended to take her away? Have I said a word about taking the girl away? Have I now؟ فقال له مس بيرس بقى جت طبعا. قال له طبعا نجيب لك البنت. وجت مس بيرس قالت له اديك البنت ازاي؟ البنت معهاش كلوز اصلا. البنت she's taking a shower. She's having a shower. How can he? You told me to burn the clothes. دلوقتي قال له هاخد البنت ازاي كده؟ هاخد البنت بقى عامل زي المونكي كده في الشارع. هات لي لبس. Bring me clothes. هيجنز قال لي you have put it to me that you want your daughter. مش قلت انت عايز بنتك؟ خد بنتك وروح باي هير كلوز بقى انت يا عم. جو and buy her clothes. قال له يا عم احنا جبنا البت بكلوز، البت ترجع بكلوز. انا جبتها لك البت ماليش فيه. Where is the clothes؟ Did I burn them ولا did I انا عملت كده؟ يا مسس يا ابله. مسس دي اللي هي مس بيرس. فمس بيرس قالت له هو ايه يا ابله دي يا عم؟ I'm the housekeeper. If you please احنا خلاص have sent for some clothes. When they come you can take her away. خش يا عم جوه انت اقعد ايه، خش اقعد لي في الكيتشن فكك. دول ليتل طبعا لقينا ايه اللي هم. بص بقى هقول لكم الاخر. انا هنا جاي regarded in the light of a young woman. She's a fine handsome girl. As a daughter she is not worth her keep, and so I will tell you straight. All I ask is my rights as a father, and you are the last man alive to expect me now to let her go for nothing. For I can see you are one of the straight sort, governor. Well, what's a 5 pound note to you, and what's Eliza to me? I want 5 pound note here. Pickering قال له I think you ought to know the little that Mr. Higgins' intentions are entirely honorable. يا عم عيب اللي بتقوله ده. راجل بيكرينج يقول له على هيجنز ده راجل محترم قعد هنا غرض محترم. طب مين قال لك ان انا كورس دي ار جفرنر؟ مين قال لك ان انا فاكر ان هو راجل مش محترم؟ ولو راجل مش محترم كنت قلت له هات 50. يا نهار اسود، عامل الزباله ولا I would ask 50. Do you mean to say هنا نهار اسود انت راجل اللي بتقول، راجل يا واطي، that you would sell your daughter for 50 pounds. Have you morals, man? عندي morals. Cannot afford them, governor. Neither could you if you was as poor as me. Not that I mean any harm, but if Eliza is going to have a bit out of this, why not me too? ما بيت ربنا هيرزقها، وانا كمان اطلع لي بقى مصلحه. لقينا هنا قال له طيب ايه رايك يا عم؟ هاجنز بيقول لبيكرينج، بيكرينج if we were to take this man in hand for 3 months he could choose between a seat in the cabinet and a popular pulpit in Wales. ممكن نخليه بقى ونوديه بعد كده مجلس الشعب، ولا نوديه يبقى راجل بريتشر كده، يعني نسيبه عندنا ونعلمه. بيكرينج قال له يا عم انا لا عايز اتعلم زي إلايزا ولا حاجه. what do you say؟ انا I want هنا to return to the street to the gutter. انا راجل عايش dog's life anyway. هنا undeserving poverty, taking one station in society with another. Well, it's the only one that has any ginger in it to my taste. ما عنديش انا I'm not active to do that. انا راجل ليزي وعايز اقعد. طيب خلاص يا عم، this is irresistible, let's give him 10. قال له لا يا عم مش عايز 10، انا عايز 5 pounds. 10 ده كتير قوي. 10 ده a huge amount of money، هيديني responsibility قوي. لا لا انا I don't want، انا هاخد برضو 5. المهم لقيناه خد الفايف، واليزا خرجت من الشاور فشاف اليزا، فلقيناه مسلم عليها كده وقال لها جورن هنا، وقام جاي ومعدي جنبها قال لها جود مورنينج وهنا، وما اتكلمش معاها خالص. فقال له ايه يا عم ده؟ فإلايزا لقيناها بتقول له don't you know your own daughter؟ لا ايه ده؟ it's إلايزا. what is that؟ this ايه يا بنت ده؟ ايه الحلاوه دي؟ ولقينا إلايزا اتغيرت خالص، وطبعا افتكرنا ان إلايزا changed. لكن at the end of the act we realize here ان إلايزا لا hasn't changed ولا حاجه. We realize that she wants to return with her father to show her new look and new clothes هنا to her friends in the street, which he said I don't mind هنا only it sounded so genteel. ممكن بس I should just like to take a taxi to the corner of Tottenham Court Road and get out there and tell it to wait for me just to put the girls in their place. I wouldn't speak to them. ممكن ارجع كده اوريهم بس الطقم ده. لا كلبة، انت عندك نقص. You shouldn't هنا cut your old friends now that you have risen the world. عيب. don't be so snobbery. لا قالت له طيب. ومام لقينا at the end of the act هيجنز بيقول لي بيكرينج we have taken a stiff job. هيجنز قال له we have. This is the end of act 2. Thanks for your listening. miss you all. ان شاء الله يبقى على خير واشوفكم على خير. باي باي.